Back on the grass for practice. I thought we had a lot of good work today. Still a couple things to clean up tomorrow in our walkthroughs, but that is not uncommon when you get to these type of game weeks. Before I take questions, I would like to say how honored and excited I am to be renamed the honorary coach for the Special Olympics in New Jersey. I spoke to Mark Edison yesterday. I think they released something through their organization, and the Special Olympics is something that I've been involved in for a long time, and certainly have been witness to a lot of these events over the years. And I'm proud to be their coach and excited that they were willing to have me back again this year. Questions?
So that's something that's also close to you, right? I mean, in terms of...
It is. I have a special needs sister,
yeah.
and I grew up going to the different Special Olympic events. And one of my most vivid memories of my childhood was at Sachem High School in Long Island at a Special Olympics event, meeting Jumbo Elliott, who was one of the larger humans on the planet, and at the time, as a younger person, seemed even bigger than that.
Cal, you talked about the tackling last week, and we know that part of that was because of the scheme and their athletes. Was it a point of emphasis, though, this week in practice? And would you expect a more standard offense to help clean up the tackling?
It's a point of emphasis every week. I mean, it's one of the pillars I think everybody builds their defense on is tackling, and we have a tackling system here that's been very effective. And I think that when a team has success doing something, you had better expect other teams to try to replicate it somehow within their system. So we've been working on that this week, and we've been working on fundamentals because we need to be a better fundamental football team.
Kyle, what have you seen from Kyle Federico this week, confidence-wise? How has he bounced back from that missed kick at the end of regulation?
I don't see it as bouncing back. I have not seen anything different from Kyle. Kyle's got a very even-keeled demeanor about him. He's always been like that. He's a competitor. He has made kicks of that distance. He made a kick longer than that in the game. I don't think the situation in the game had anything to do with the kick. He just didn't hit it as well as he would like to, but I believe the next time he goes out there, he'll make it.
What stands out to you as being unique in the relationship between Gary and Leonte? Obviously they went to high school together, but it seems like they have sort of a connection, just one of those unspoken things that seems to exist between them.
I don't know that. I don't know that coaches think about it that way. I think they spend a lot of time together on the practice field, in season, off season, in the summer, but it's not just them too. I think Gary spent a lot of time with Karan Pratt, who's had a great preseason and a great first game for us so far. Brandon Coleman, he spent a lot of time with. I think we're fortunate they're both very good players. And when you have a very good player throwing it to a very good player on the other end receiving it, you got a chance to make some spectacular plays. I don't know that there's some kind of sort of unspoken connection between the two.
So obviously you expect Gary to go through his reads, but do you expect Leonte to kind of develop into that security blanket for Gary?
I think Gary's got a lot of players on the team that he's very secure in throwing the ball to. And I think when a quarterback tries to predetermine who he's going to throw it to, the offenses don't work very well. So, we have every play has a progression, and the more productive a player becomes, the more they warrant plays where they might be the primary, or you're doing something formationally to try to create a one-on-one. And I think we got a couple guys that are in that category right now, and Leonte would be one of them.
Cal, I know you won't alter your offense because somebody is in pursuit of a school record, but Brandon Coleman's close. Are you aware of it? I think his teammates are aware of it. He needs to touchdown catches to tie Tim Brown's school record for career. Is it something you know about?
I'm aware of it because people have said it to me. I'm sure he's aware of it. I think the players know kind of what the numbers are. I don't think it affects the way he prepares. It certainly does not affect the way we call the game. Right. I think it's a little trickier to do. I remember when Brian was in the Syracuse game, I want to say in 2006, was going for that type of record. It's a little easier with a running back when you can line up and hand them the ball. Mm-hmm. I don't know that it's that cut and dry with a receiver all the time. So, it's something he's aware of, but Brandon's going to get plenty of opportunities to catch the ball this year within our offense. So if that leads to a record, that's fine, and if it doesn't, and it leads to wins, I think Brandon's going to be fine with that too.
Okay, do you tend to see a big jump between game 1 and game 2 for first-time guys, Steve Longa, Chris Muller, Ruhan, guys like that?
I don't know if it would be just one game. You like to see improvement every week, but I think the way, and every season is different. Last year we played 4 games by, 4 weeks by, 4 games by, and then the last 4 games. This year's a little bit different. We played 4 games, then we have a bye, then we play 2 games in 10 days, then we have another bye. So it's a little bit of more of a unique schedule than what I've been a part of. So I think for us, we would like to see a steady progression through the first 4 games, and then have a bye week to evaluate what it is we need to work on the bye week. But right now, we're worried about today. We just finished practice, and we're going to go back and watch it and evaluate it and see what we got to clean up for tomorrow, and then play a game on Saturday that hopefully, from a fundamental and from an execution standpoint, is a better game than we played last week.
What kind of
Press on for
excitement
two more.
level are guys like that giving off, knowing it's going to be their first home game at Rutgers, and especially, sold out student section, everything like that?
I think they're going to be really excited, and I think for all the reasons the players who experienced college football for the first time last week were excited. Now you get to come home the next week and experience it at home for the first time. It'll be exciting as well. I don't think there's anything like doing it for the first time.
Kyle, what did you see from how Gary responded to adversity in the game and the loss, and how did that show his development as a leader on this team?
Gary's a competitor. He's a competitor first, and he's developed into an excellent leader as he's matured, as he has performed better and more consistently, and as he has worked with the other players on the offense, being an upperclassman now. So I don't see the bouncing back in the game. What I see that as is his competitive spirit, and that's Gary. Gary is going to go out there, regardless of what the defense did or didn't do on the last drive. Gary will go out and compete, and I think he's always been like that. And the difference now is not only is he like that, but he's a better player, he's in the best shape of his life, and he's become a better leader. Thanks, guys.